Deep within the shadowed quiet of the underground, Madame Xin Zhui has lain undisturbed for 2,000 years. When we peel away layer upon layer of delicate silk, we witness far more than the miraculous preservation of an ancient wet corpse. We glimpse the everyday life of Han Dynasty nobility. Tonight let us begin with a single sweet melon and step into her magnificent yet quietly painful mortal world. May this ancient, lingering voice cradle you into deep serene sleep. More than 2,000 years ago, Madame Xin Zhui passed away suddenly amid the sweltering summer heat of ancient Changsha. Modern biological archaeology pierces through the mist of time, restoring every intricate detail of her affluent noble life. Those exquisite luxurious delicacies that once delighted her palate eventually became an unbearable burden hidden deep within her body. Tonight, wrapped in soft gentle narration, we pause to reflect on the profound lingering echo of life and time. She was the wife of the Prime Minister of the Changsha Kingdom, blessed with the most supreme wealth and splendor of the Han Dynasty. Yet within Madame Xin Zhui's bones and preserved internal organs lie silent records of hidden torment brought by endless prosperity. From the perspective of biological science, we witness her quiet struggle and final calm in her last moments. Close your eyes and follow me deep into the long-buried years of Mawangdui, feeling the quiet vicissitudes spanning 2,000 years. Imagine unwrapping 20 layers of fine embroidered silk brocade only to behold a face that has slumbered untouched for 2 millennia. Her skin remains perfectly intact, retaining an incredible soft elasticity when gently pressed with a fingertip. This is Madame Xin Zhui of Mawangdui, an astonishing marvel that stirs awe within modern medicine and archaeology alike. Yet hidden inside this timeless preserved body lies a secret both exquisitely refined and deeply unsettling. Tonight let the soft, flickering glow of warm firelight accompany you as we step fully into the untold truth of her life. We set aside the dazzling ornate splendor of Han Dynasty burial artifacts and gaze directly into the real quiet life of a noble woman wrapped in wealth and privilege. Beneath the microscope of biological archaeology, we witness her quiet indulgence and fragile humanity. Every twist of fate traces back to one sweltering afternoon 2,000 years ago and a single bowl of irresistibly sweet ripe melon. Madame Xin Zhui was not born as an eternal motionless mummy. She once lived as the devoted noble wife of Li Tsang, Prime Minister of the Changsha Kingdom in the prosperous ancient city of Changsha. As the cherished household lady of the highest ruling class, her days were surrounded by overwhelming material luxury and extravagant comfort. Through unearthed lacquer tableware and residual food remains, archaeologists have reconstructed the lavish banquets that filled her daily life. Her table overflowed with venison, tender beef, wild duck, and countless exquisite delicacies harvested from the rivers and lakes of the region, rich in fat, sweetness, and fine flavor. Yet behind this enviable life of fine clothing and sumptuous feasts, subtle warning signs quietly took root within her body. Under scientific examination, traces of accumulated fat still linger within her ancient blood vessels, revealing severe hardening of the coronary arteries. Long before her passing, this hidden physical condition was like a delicately wrapped slow poison, consumed little by little with every indulgent meal. There were no electrocardiograms, no modern blood pressure medication in her time, only occasional dull heaviness lingering in her chest. This quiet chronic strain, born from endless affluence, marked the first crack in the course of her fate. She paced slowly along long corridors decorated with intricate painted lacquer, unaware that death had already settled silently within her heart. Power and wealth granted Madame Xin Zhui the most dignified outward grace, yet confined her freedom. To preserve her health as the Prime Minister's wife, she never toiled with manual labor, surrounded at all times by countless attendants, leaving her almost no chance for physical movement. Archaeological analysis of her skeletal remains reveals obvious degenerative changes in her spine, proof that she endured persistent chronic pain in her waist and legs throughout her lifetime. A life of endless stillness left her body heavy, stiff, and weakened. Worse still, medical examination uncovered multiple densely clustered gallstones inside her gallbladder, each one capable of triggering excruciating agony. One can easily picture her enduring sharp abdominal pain in quiet restraint amid grand banquets filled with elegant music and fine entertainment. In search of relief, she likely tried countless ancient herbal remedies of the Han Dynasty and even prayed devoutly for divine blessing. Yet even the height of power and noble status could not calm the painful spasms of her bile duct torment that grew increasingly severe in her later years. Her entire life unfolded quietly, enduring a hidden chronic affliction brought solely by wealth and luxury. This graceful composure, masking inner physical collapse, reveals another raw, authentic side of life among Han Dynasty nobility. It was an unbearably humid, sweltering summer during the Western Han Dynasty, the heat of Changsha hanging thick and heavy in the air, almost suffocating even those accustomed to the climate. Already well into her 50s, Madame Xin Zhui found her coronary heart disease growing increasingly unbearable beneath the oppressive summer warmth. Seeking cool refreshment on that fateful day, she ordered servants to bring forth a plate of sweet ripe chilled melon. Such sweet juicy fruit was an extravagant rare Luxury in her time, she ate quickly and eagerly, swallowing 138 melon seeds in a single sitting. Modern medical autopsy examining the contents of her stomach perfectly preserves this final small detail of her mortal life. The sweet refreshing taste of the melon had barely slipped down her throat when a sudden violent angina struck her chest like thunder, overwhelming her in an instant. Overwhelmed by suffocating pressure, she collapsed abruptly onto her elegant couch as surrounding maids cried out and fled in panic. Yet for someone suffering from severely blocked coronary arteries, such sudden intense stimulation proved instantly fatal. Her passing was a graceful, quiet, sudden death, unfolding right after a simple bowl of melon within the familiar, luxurious comfort of her noble residence. That sweet, refreshing midday meal became her final passage into the afterlife. After Madame Xin Zhui's sudden passing, the entire Changsha kingdom spared no expense attempting endlessly to preserve her beauty and mortal form for eternity, whether driven by deep genuine affection or the desire to uphold the final dignity of the prime minister's household. Li Tsang arranged an extraordinarily elaborate royal funeral. Her body was carefully immersed in a mysterious weakly acidic liquid blended with cinnabar and rare herbal ingredients. 4 layers of ornate lacquer coffins painted with swirling cloud patterns were nested one inside another, completely sealing off all air and outside influence. Workers dug dozens of meters deep into the earth surrounding the burial chamber with tens of thousands of caddies of charcoal and thick layers of white plaster clay. This airtight sealed design served not only to guard against tomb robbers but stood as a deliberate, quiet challenge against the relentless passage of time. Wrapped in 20 layers of fine silk robes like a precious gift, bound for a distant journey, Madame Xin Zhui was laid deep beneath the soil of Mwangui. Sealed away in dark underground stillness, she remained cut off from the world above. Long after ancient empires crumbled into dust, her mortal physical ailments faded away, her heart ceased its steady beat, and the pressure within her blood vessels dissolved into quiet nothingness. Enveloped safely within the cool protective clay, she achieved the ultimate, timeless art of bodily preservation and eternal rest. 2,000 years later, as we gaze quietly upon Madame Xin Zhui, what exactly is it we behold? It is far more than priceless ancient silk artifacts or the astounding miracle of biological archaeology. We look upon a real mortal life, one who cherished sweet simple pleasures and endured hidden quiet suffering. The lingering taste of that single bowl of melon has across 2 millennia become a tangible footnote etched into history, reminding us that no matter how glorious an era may be, death always arrives in the most ordinary, accidental, unassuming way. Today she rests calmly within a temperature-controlled, humidity-regulated display case, freed forever from the torment of gallstones and the heavy ache of heart disease. Through her miraculously preserved form, she reveals to us the fragile, fleeting nature of life and the quiet permanence of eternity. Tonight, as you drift into quiet sleep, remember that life itself is the most precious, gentle passing. Let go of all trivial worries and weariness of the day, and like Madame Xin Zhui, find your own final peace nestled gently within the embrace of time. May your dreams be as soft and delicate as Han Dynasty silk, as steady and tranquil as the deep buried layers of ancient earth. Good night.